Ricken Financial presents Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry, Ricken, and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you reach the retirement you deserve. Let's build a strategy that gives you the confidence while meeting your financial wants and needs. Meet the team at rickenfinancial.com. Now, Kickin with the Rickens.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening to Kickin with the Rickens podcast. We are here with retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost and licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. My name is Mark Owens. We invite you to get more at rickenfinancial.com. You can get all the information here in the show notes. Thanks again for subscribing. Now, let's get to the show. We wanted to talk about the sandwich generation and what's happening and what you're seeing right now. So we've heard the term sandwich generation before, but for those that may not or maybe not really fully understand the context behind it, start from the beginning. What does it mean?
Well, what it talks about is the people who are sandwiched between two generations, and that is your parents and your children.
You know, we're talking about this today because it's truly the next pandemic hitting all of the retirees and a significant amount of retirement plans in America. What the sandwich generation represents is the generation of human beings who hope to retire, maybe in their retirement or on the threshold of their retirement right now themselves, who are financially supporting their adult children. And let me say that again, financially supporting your adult children. So they may or may not live with you, but you're financially supporting them, while also providing care to your parents who need some form of care and assistance, and is devastating people. And it has become something that we never thought, the talking heads have talked about this in our industry for a very long time, but we never really thought it would become what it has become. And we have found that more often than not, the conversations we're having with prospects and clients are centering around this common theme that I'm here supporting my kids, and a lot of times they don't even realize how much financial support they're actually providing to their children,
right,
while also caregiving for their parents and doing everything in their power not to burn out and fall apart.
And nationally, it represents 23% of adults in the United States are in that sandwich generation. That really does not surprise us because we see that in our own practice. Mm-hmm. We see that happening, and we have those conversations with people daily. And it's just devastating. It can be devastating unless you plan for it.
Well, and the unfortunate reality is that 96% of people in this country are providing financial assistance for their adult children. It's something we definitely have to talk about and focus on, because just a couple of years ago, that was only 76%.
Right.
So we jumped up 20%. We're almost at 100% of, people who have worked so hard for what they have are financially supporting their children and feeling strapped. It's affecting their retirement plans. 9% of these people who are financially supporting their children and their parents do not feel as though they can retire at all anymore.
You sent me a stat that said 50% of adults manage their kids' debt. What do we mean by debt? Are we talking like cell phones and maybe insurance? What do we mean by manage their kids' debt?
No. We're not talking about their expenses, which 96% of adults are taking care of their children's expenses, like their cell phones, their car insurance, all that kind of stuff. We're talking debts, credit card debt, and the big one, student loan debt. And when we say managing, we're not saying that they're telling their kid, here's how much you need to pay towards this right now. It's actually, it used to be 50% and it's now 79%.
And that changed only in 2 years.
In the last 2 years, it went from half of adults to now 79% of Americans are managing all or a portion of their adult children's debt.
And most of it is student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll cripple you. There are so many people who are in retirement or nearing retirement who have to take funds out of their retirement savings that they've worked their entire lives toward to help pay their children's debt, who are changing their lifestyles, who are, if they're still working, they're putting less money into their 401k plans while they're working because they're trying to help their children pay down this debt. Mm-hmm. And it's a staggering number, and something has to be done about it. So,
well, and these are people who've worked really, really hard their entire working career to pay down their own debts. They're mortgage free. They don't have credit card debt. They live within their means. Then all of a sudden they're strapped with this obligation or self-proclaimed obligation to pay their children's debt off.
We're talking about this now because we don't want you to be sitting here in a position where you can't retire, or you have to work 5 more years, or you're not putting as much money away for the future because you're trying to help out your adult child right now. But if you are in that situation, please know that you're not alone. And we help people through that all the time. So we're available at any point in time to talk at 314-207-6211 if you just need a little advice, because it can be a lot to handle on your own.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about it right now, because there are tons of resources available to you, but it's such an overwhelming place to start that, quite honestly, most people don't even know where to begin when they find themselves in this situation. So picture this. You're sitting here. You're 5 years on the brink of retirement. You still wanted to be saving up to your company's match, because if you're putting that up in your Roth 401k right now and you're getting the company's match of the free money, you're setting stuff aside for the future. And your kid graduates college, they're living at home, you're paying their cell phone bill, all the subscriptions in your household to Netflix and whatnot. You're paying for their health insurance because they're under the age of 26 years old. You're paying for their car insurance. All these little onesie-twosie things add up to be quite a bit. And then all of a sudden, 6 months after they graduate, we have to start paying for their student loan debt. Mm-hmm. And it could be like paying a secondary mortgage. What do? If you're sitting here and you have this freight train in front of you, how do you handle it? Well, you know what? You probably need a little bit of financial coaching, because chances are you're going to use emotions to make the wrong financial decisions when you hit that situation.
Not only are you going to probably need a little bit of coaching, but I think your children will as well. And we provide that by just offering the consultations with you by calling 314-207-6211 and sitting down with Heidi and I and just understanding the resources that are available and understanding the implications of continuing down this road or having responsibility shifted from yourself to your child, and teaching them how to budget, how to manage, how to handle that debt, how to pay down that debt, and how to live a successful life without the implication of their parents' money.
Since it is a pandemic and it is affecting so many of us, chances are, if you're not someone who's sitting here as a part of the sandwich generation, someone you know and love is. And if they need that help, that's what we're here for, because no one should have to feel like you're alone when you're on the threshold of retirement or you're in your retirement and you feel like you can't even enjoy what you've put aside for the future because your time is spent taking care of your parents or your children, or maybe your children's children, because we have quite a few clients that as soon as they retired, they're now full-time caregivers for their grandchildren. And while they do love it, it can be a lot, and it can be a huge financial burden too as well. So sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance and you don't know where to turn, because not everyone's going to fit into this one-size-fits-all answer. There is not one answer that I wish I could sit here and tell you, if you do this one thing, you're going to make it through to the other side. Mm-hmm. There's not one thing. Every single person's situation is going to be completely different. But if you have to decide between helping your child have health insurance or pay off the student loan debt or setting money aside for your financial future, whatever your situation may be, please know that that is what we're here for, and we'd love to talk you through it and help find what your resolution is. 314-207-6211, because there are a ton of resources available out there for you that you may not even be aware of. When it comes to the debts, there are some unbelievable programs you can utilize, your children can utilize, so that they can help relieve some of that financial burden from you too, because if you don't know what's available to you, you can't implement it.
That's right. And your children can actually put together a tax-free retirement plan at the same time as extinguishing debt. So that's a very, very powerful tool that not a lot of people know about. So if you'd like to learn more about that, just reach out to us at 314-207-6211, and we can show you the path to financial freedom.
Yes. And, we know this is a huge talking point, and we're not going to be able to cover all of the information necessary to talk about the resources available to you if you fall into the sandwich generation. So keep an eye on our social media, Ricken Financial, Ricken Financial, because we're going to have some upcoming webinars about this topic and what resources are available to you, because There are hundreds of resources that can help you out when you are the caregiver of an adult. So if you're giving care to your parent or your grandparent or whoever, and there are hundreds of resources available to your children as well when they need a little, extra kick in their step to get off mom and dad's payroll.
Yeah.
So we'd love to be able to bring all of those to you right now, but we simply cannot cover it in, our segments here today. So we'd love to have you keep an eye on our social media so we can bring it to you then.
Again, that number 314-207-6211, or reach out from the homepage at rickenfinancial.com, RICKEN, rickenfinancial.com. When I was in college, my dad would always say, son, I'll pay for your college until you leave or until you graduate. And then sure enough, I got a job in radio before I was done with college. And as soon as I left college early, he turned all the bills over to me. And he goes, I told you I'd pay for it if you got your degree, and you never got your degree. And so it literally took me about 16 years to pay off 2.5 years of college. But for me, it was a financial lesson from my dad. And he kind of put me in that spot of, you got yourself in this, you got to get yourself out. So do you find the same thing with that sandwich generation? They kind of get down that wormhole of taking care of their parents and then taking care of their kids, and they get so deep that it's hard for them to crawl out of it.
Heidi talked about leading with emotion, and emotion is what drives a lot of those decisions on a daily basis, because you're so ingrained in all the stresses that are consuming your daily life, because you're working, you've got kids at home, you're providing for them, you're cooking meals, you're providing for your parents, you're taking them to doctor's appointments, you're taking time away from your vacations to do that.
Well, you might be paying your bills on a monthly basis, your parents' bills on a monthly basis,
and
your kids' bills
bills
on a monthly basis. There's, so many responsibilities. You just feel stretched thin between all of them.
Yeah, and you just can't see the forest for the trees. You have to get to 30,000 feet and have someone up there at 30,000 feet looking down on it to see, oh my gosh, this is what's happening, and this is the impact that's happening on you. And stress can devastate you. It can devastate you emotionally and physically, and it can also devastate you financially. And we want to relieve some of that stress. So, working with a financial professional actually does help relieve that stress. Heidi, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the statistics show that if you're working with a financial professional when you're in this sandwich generation and you're having a tough time, that you can actually reduce your stress and anxiety by more than 20%. And the financial strain that you feel will be reduced significantly overall as well. So when you're in this situation and you don't know where to turn, because let's be real, if you've never been in it before, there is no right answer. How are you supposed to know where to even begin? If you don't have the help of a professional helping you through this financially, everything just kind of snowball effects and builds upon that. So give us a call, and we'd love to be your financial professional to help kind of coach and mentor you through this, because it is something that we see a lot. And so rely on the expertise that we have from working through these kinds of situations with lots and lots of people, so that hopefully you only have to handle it once and have a better idea of how to manage your stress moving forward, because the finances, have a plan in place that can withstand the test of time. So if that sounds like something you'd love to do, we'd love to meet with you. Just give us a call at 314-207-6211, or head over to our website, rickenfinancial.com, RICKEN financial.com. You'll see links to our social media there as well. However you want to reach out to us, we are available here to help you at any point in time, because we don't want you to have to go it alone.
Heidi, you were saying that there is a demographic that is the least likely to reach out for help that's in this sandwich generation. Who is that?
Well, it's women.
And you know what's fascinating to me, Mark, about that?
What's that?
Men are usually the ones who don't ask for directions.
True.
It's not women. I mean, I'm serious.
Right,
I'm serious. I don't think I've ever asked for directions.
Yeah, it's true.
And now we got our phone telling us where to go.
But what's also very interesting to me is that, when it comes to sharing the responsibilities of caregiving for someone, or, having a formal written retirement plan, or working with a financial professional, the men take the cake. When push comes to shove, if a woman is in charge of caregiving for someone in their life, they are so much less likely to ask for help than a man is.
And they're so focused on giving that care that they're blinded by that.
They can't even see outside of it. And I honestly, I attribute that to a lot of these statistics because I think a lot of women are so mired down in their caregiving tasks and in providing that, the love and the care to the elderly and the financial support to the children, that they just truly don't see outside of it. And that's probably why they don't even know what resources are available, or that if talking to a financial professional for, their financial future could relieve some of their stress, they're probably not even aware that they can do that, honestly. I was sharing this with you earlier, Mark. I find it to be very interesting. And I have heard from a significant amount of our female clients and prospects alike that what held them back from reaching out for help is they felt as though they would be a burden on me as a financial professional to help them through what they're going through.
Which is fascinating to me because that's why we exist.
Exactly. It's never a burden to me because this is what brings me joy. This is what feeds my soul. I was put on this earth to help everyone, but especially women through their financial future. I truly believe as though that is why I exist. And so it broke my heart to hear this become a common theme because no one ever wants to feel like you're a burden on anyone. And you probably don't even realize what kind of burden you're placing on yourself by not reaching out for help. So if that sounds like you, please just give me a call at 314-207-6211 because I really do want to be here to assist you and help you and make life feel a little less burdensome when it comes to the finances, but also get you the resources that are available if you need some help in that caregiving as well, or in the mental health space, or, giving a little nudge to your kids to get the hell out of the house and take care of themselves too. Whatever the case may be, that's what we're here for.
We're not just speaking to women right now. We're speaking to everyone. Yeah. Men out there, if you need some help, please reach out to us because I was just talking to someone last week at our event and he said, well, I got to come because my brother got to take off work or had to take off work to take my dad to his doctor's appointment because he was the one who's providing that care all the time for his father. And he said it was so refreshing just to have a breath of fresh air and be able to talk to some people who aren't completely mired down in talking about the health of an aging parent.
When you're in the weeds, it can be a lot. I mean, we feel that because my mom and her sisters are providing support to their mother, even though she's in a care facility. It can be a full-time job, just coordinating everything to provide care for an elderly loved one. And sometimes you honestly just want to get out of your house, have a cup of coffee or, I don't know, a snack or something or a soda. If that's the case, please pop in. We're available anytime. And
we'll talk about whatever you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. But our doors are always open. That's the Ricken way. I grew up in a household where if the lights were on, that meant the door was open and anyone's welcome to pop on in because sometimes you really do just need some social interaction with someone. And if that's the case with you, hey, we're here to have a little bit of fun too and bring some levity in the situation and maybe not talk about the burden of being the caregiver for 5 minutes of your life.
Right. We just want to talk about what feeds your soul outside of providing that care for the loved one.
Gerry, you talk about that if sometimes people just need to get away from their current situation. My mother-in-law took care of my father-in-law who had Parkinson's and dementia. And before he passed away, she was his full-time caregiver. And when there would be so many times where we'd just go over there, sit with him. So Mary, his wife, could just get away. So she could just go run some errands, just go get out of the house where she had to take care of him for so long. So when you made that invite, if you will, to come to the home office of Ricken Financial, if you just need to get out of the house and have a conversation with another adult, that says a lot about who you are. 314-207-6211. Again, 314-207-6211. Heidi, Gerry, thank you. As always, thank you for the information. Before we get out of here, Gerry Ricken, Heidi Ricken Provost, take us home.
Every day's a holiday.
Life is short, laugh hard.
This has been Kickin with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.